Hey everyone, how are you doing? Sorry for that technical difficulty, but welcome. My name is Kimberly. I am the CEO of Kimberly's marketing firm, LLC. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, we have a great live interview coming forth for you tonight with our business specialist, my professor, Mr. Gordon Manker. We're going to actually join him to the screen in a moment, but I just wanted to let you know just a little bit about myself. Yes, I am a marketer. I am an entrepreneur here in the Pittsburgh area. I specialize in photography, marketing, and film production. So I highly encourage all the entrepreneurs who are out there, even if even if you want to be like you want to have a business, to keep pushing and keep following your dreams. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there before we get started. Tonight we have a very, very great topic. But before we go into our topic, I am going to join Mr. Gordon Manker with us so he can introduce himself to you all, and then we'll go from there. Hey, Mr. Gordon, how you doing?
I am well. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, good. So thank you for having me back.
Yes.
I think it's an honor and a privilege to be able to sit here and talk with you and all of your viewers about business. Again, my name is Gordon Manker. I work at the Wilkinsburg Community Development Corporation. I am the Director of Business Development there. And I also do an 8-week business planning program, which Kimberly went through, where I help educate people and really understand the process of getting into business, some things that you might not have heard of, because most of us don't have mentors to help us walk through that process. So my only job is to hopefully educate you on the crazy things that I've done so you don't have to do the same and make the mistakes that I have. But I would like to say, first of all, I am not a professor. I am
Oh,
just,
sorry. I'm sorry.
that is cool. That is cool. I am just passionate about helping people.
Yes.
And so that passion could come across as I am prophesizing, professorizing, or whatever. But I just like helping people and working with people who may not have had the opportunity to really join with someone who's in business and be mentored by them. So, again, thank you for having me here this evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. So if you're joining with us, I highly encourage you to share this live. Today, we are talking about, you know, two important things when you're trying to start a business. Just information that we should know is how to obtain your EIN and also your LLC. And, what does that mean? What does that look like? You might not know like how to start. So we're here to give you some general information that you can carry with you while you're educating yourself or maybe educating someone else who wants to get into entrepreneurship and start their own business, right? I'm going to start off. I'm going to give the panel over to Mr. Gordon. He's going to, talk to us about what an EIN is, the definition of an EIN, and just more general, deep information that we may not know about what an employer identification number is. So, Mr. Gordon.
All right, cool. So EIN, like it says on the screen, the employer identification number is a number that identifies your business, right? So usually people think about that, and if you're self-employed or you don't have an LLC or anything like that, then really, people ask whether I should have an EIN number. I think everyone going into business, whether you're self-employed, whether you have a LLC, any of those different things, you should have an EIN number. An EIN number is like your social security number. Actually, it's 9 numbers also. But it identifies your business. And the reason why you want to have this is as you get into business, if you want to open a bank account, if you want to deal with suppliers, they're going to ask you for your EIN. if you don't have an EIN, then the only other thing they can take is your social security number, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an LLC or anything like that, you have to have an EIN. But with um, uh, if you're coming into this by yourself, then if you don't have one, they'll ask for your social security number. And the big thing about that is, if you have independent contractors, if you're paying people, if you're only using your social security number, that means everyone will have your social security number because you have to put it on those papers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when you file your taxes, that a lot of times have to go out to different places, especially the banks when you're doing it. It'll be your social security number instead of your EIN number, which can identify your business and not you personally. So you really want to think about getting that. It's free of charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's through the IRS, so you can go to irs.gov
Mm-hmm.
to get that. It's not hard to do. They just need, the basic information of who's filling it out, the name of the business, and a little more information. But remember, you want to have an EIN number. That is just so important. I just tell people all the times when I'm looking at paperwork for people who have $3-4 million businesses and still don't have an EIN, they're still doing it based on their social security number.
Wow.
So it's very important. Then I got to go on there and deduct it because I don't want to have nothing to do with nobody's social security number.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Right.
Like I just, I went into the military back in 1986, and because I was in ROTC, I was a leader, so-called, and I was taking these people, and so I looked at some paperwork from back then. Everybody's social security number was on there. That was
wow.
Social security, and they all had mine too. It wasn't like I had back in the day, it wasn't even a thing about social security numbers. So,
Wow.
but today it is, and I'm sure it was still a problem back then, but they didn't see it like that. But now they do. So it's very important to make sure that your business is identified as a business and not, based on your social security number.
Right. I think that's great. Because as I learned that when I went to go open up my business account, that's the first thing they asked for. My checking account was like, what's your EIN? And to have that handy and everything that you need, like you said, not to attach it to yourself, right? So
correct.
Yep.
So even if you're self-employed, right, you want to have an EIN number, because if you hire people or whatever, you don't want to be giving out your social security number.
Right. That is so important. I never looked at it like that because and there's probably so many people who have just their social and not their EIN, and then it will, like you said, it will just be everywhere.
Because we don't have mentors like that. When you even say it seems hard. Like we don't have people around us who we talk about this every day, right?
Right.
So and the other thing is, if people don't even come on here, they don't even know they need it. Because most people go straight into business. Like my first business, I didn't have an EIN number. I used my social security number. Like I didn't know, right? You don't think about those things until it's too late. So it's not that it's just that, you don't know what you don't know. Especially going into business.
True.
Most of us, when we go into business, we jump off the mountain and try to build the plane as we go down, right? Sometimes it works, most of the times it don't. So,
right.
Exactly. So, again, and I think that's why it's so, I'm so thankful for you having these classes or these lives, because that gives people an opportunity to at least hear the information that we don't hear every day as employees. You don't hear these things until you go into business. And it's usually not till you're so far into it that you even hear a lot of the things that you're even bringing up in these conversations.
So true, Mr. Gordon. So true. Because, I think, well, just knowing, just our community in general, if, like you said, we don't have those mentors, if we don't have our parents who are showing us, we think we just got to graduate from high school, get a job. That entrepreneurship was never taught to us in school unless it's coming from like a mentor or a family member who's actually been through that. And that is important. Like my daughters are 12, 13. They're going to know what an EIN and an LLC is before the end of this year, just to educate them, because it's so important. It's so important. We just apply for jobs. Oh, this is $15 an hour. This is, not even thinking about how about what you want to do? How about you get your EIN? How about you get your LLC? So I think that's great.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Yeah. And I just want to say one other thing. It's just not our community. All communities have this.
Yes. You're right.
They all, because I work with them all, they all have the same challenge, that they don't have mentors. We only kind of look at the upper echelon when we think about this, right? The people who have family wealth that goes back and back and back, right? They come in, but I've even worked with some of them, and they still don't have the right when they go out and try to do it on their own.
Right. You're right. You're so right. You're so right. Would you like me to share my screen to give the viewers a little bit more information on EIN? Okay. Let's see. And please, if you have any questions, comments, I see you're on here, you can just ask Mr. Gordon. He's available right now. I will also post his email at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and share this screen while Mr. Gordon explains it a little bit.
So, yeah, you can show it. I just wanted to make sure everyone's seen where it is, and it's irs.gov. irs.gov is where you go, and you can get all the information about an EIN number, and it's real easy to apply online. It doesn't cost anything. One thing I would caution: make sure that you write down your EIN number, because if you lose it, they're not going. I don't even know if you can get it. But it is kind of a challenge, and they'll tell you that, right? To make sure you safeguard your EIN, put it somewhere, and then make sure you go here to determine your eligibility. Yes. I think there's one of them on there that says, ask a yes or no question, and it kind of walks you through whichever one. But definitely, if you're going to get a LLC or anything like that, any type of corporation, you're going to need an EIN number.
Yes, I agree. And, I didn't even realize how simple it was just to go on this website. It's just like a few clicks and you're on there, right? So that's awesome.
We can't walk you through the application because you got to put stuff on there, thing to thing. But it's not hard at all, as long as you have your information for your business, the name, address, and different things like that. And I think there's a little tab on there for you to know what information you need before you start the process.
Right. And the website is irs.gov. Just like you said, Mr. Gordon, you know what I did? I copied and I pasted and I sent it to my email so I would never lose it. I printed it out. I keep it in a folder because just like your social security number, we should know about heart, honestly. But we can learn to get there. But it is I don't know math by heart. Do you?
Well, now that you done said it, now I got to go learn it.
Right. Shoot, we might not be able to pull up our emails in a little bit, so who knows? But yes, easy way to get your EIN. Mr. Gordon, do you need an EIN to start a business?
You don't need an EIN. You don't need an EIN to start a business. Again, if you're going to open a bank account, again, which you should. A business bank account, you're going to need an EIN number for that. If you're in a position to have to get supplies and they need information from you, especially if you're going to do it on credit, you're going to need an EIN, or they're going to use your social. Again, you don't want your social to be out there. You don't know who's looking at it. And I mean, it is what it is today, but you want to minimize your exposure as much as possible. But then it's just a lot more professional when you're using an EIN.
Correct. You're so right. Thank you so much for that. I hope you're all learning something. I'm learning something tonight. Once again, please share. Please comment if you have any questions. That would be awesome. But I'm going to go into that PA Business One Stop Hub. Would you like me to share that screen and kind of explain it a little bit?
Sure.
To our viewers? Okay.
So Kimberly wanted me to talk a little bit about LLC, but there's a lot that goes along with it, but it is on PA one-stop shop. So if you once you're ready to go do your LLC, you don't need a lawyer. You can really do it pretty much online. There's not much information that you do need. One of the biggest things you need is the address, your business address that you wanted to go to. So they'll talk about a registered agent. And what a registered agent is just a place that houses this information, right? So there you can go online and you can put in registered agents in PA. It's pretty much like a some of them are considered lawyer's office, different things like that, for you to be able to say, this is my address that you can send my stuff to, right? Because you have to be able to get this information for your business that the state sends out. It has to go to somewhere. It could go to your house, but they don't suggest that.
Right.
To kind of do those things separately. So you'll go to PA one-stop shop to register, put in your information, and go online. But there's again a lot of stuff that you have to do that we can't just walk through right now. But it is it's a limited liability corporation, meaning it is a hybrid between a partnership and a corporation. So the whole thing is they wanted to take the liability away from the sole proprietor, right? So let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
Like, when you talk about business structure, right?
Yes.
Being self-employed, an LLC, a corporation, a C corp, and all these other things.
Right.
Most of that just talks about how do you do taxes and liability. How are you paying your taxes, and how are you structuring so that you're not liable for what goes on in the business.
Right.
Now, this is what the rich think about all day, how to keep more of their money, right?
Yeah.
So this is all about rich people talking about how to keep more of their money. Let's be honest about that, right?
Right.
So what they did was develop this limited liability, which is a partnership, right? Where if you're in a partnership, the liability is between you and the other partner for whatever you kind of deem is fair, right?
Right.
And what I mean by that is, a partnership does not necessarily have to be 50-50, right? A partnership could be 90-10, 80-20, 60-40, right? So whatever the two of you come in and say, this is what our partnership is going to be, then both of you're liable for your portion, 60%. The other one's liable for their portion, 40%, 80-20, however that goes. So if something happened in the business, right? In the business of a partnership, both of you would be liable, meaning they could come after your personal assets, as in the sole proprietorship, right? They can come after your assets.
Wow.
In a limited liability corporation and all the other corporations, those are entities. Those are
entities.
What they call them straw persons. They're actually people, which is why you got a 9-digit EIN number, which is your social security number, right?
Right.
So the corporation on the other side, especially when you're talking about a C corporation, which is super huge, that the main reason why most people don't want to do that is because it's double taxation.
That's interesting.
When you're going into business, the real advantage you have over other people out of making a large amount of money, but let's keep apples to apples, is that you're going to make more money because you pay less taxes, right? Meaning, a person who has a job, at the upper end of taxes, they may pay 35%. Meaning, if they make 100,000, they're only actually bringing in 65.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Let's say it's a computer programmer. They're making 100,000.
Right.
I come in as a computer programmer. I come in as a consultant owning my own business. doing the same thing as this other programmer. We're both going to make $100,000 a year. But because I can take out some taxes, meaning I can write off my house. So now instead of 35%, let's say I do some things with taxes. Now I'm only paying 30%. And I take out some other business taxes, and now I'm only paying 25%. And I take out some other business taxes, and now I'm only paying 20%. So just that small part right there, the person who has a job is going to make $65,000. Me as an entrepreneur, I'm going to make $80,000, which is a $15,000 difference, just because I can write some things off. All things being equal.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So that's the power of being in business. If you get the right people behind you that really understand business taxes. So even when you're going to a tax person, if you're in business, you want to get someone who understands business. So your average everyday H&R Block person is more on personal taxes, not business taxes. You want someone who understands everything that you can deduct based on your business so that you can put more money in your pocket.
Right. That's smart.
Secret, right?
Yeah.
You can do this and just have your business as a hobby. Right? So let's say you say, I work as a school teacher. Now, this is an actual school teacher who actually put me on to the game long time.
Okay.
Right? So what he was talking about is he would, and I'm not suggesting this to no one, I'm just telling you what he told me. He would get so if you go into business today, the government says you can do research and everything, so you don't have to make a profit, because taxes are based on the profit of the business, right? You don't have to make a profit for 3 years, and they will consider it a business. Anytime after 3 years, they consider it a hobby. Meaning, if you were to start your business today, just thinking about your business, right? I'm not even talking about getting an LLC or nothing like that. All you're going to do is think about your business. Now, what he did was he went and usually got him a network marketing company business, right? Because usually it's very low to get in, very low to keep it up. But if you're let's say it's $200 to keep it up, but your taxes that you save is $1,000, then you netted $800. So the $200 ain't even a thing, right? Because what happens now is you're in business and you can write off everything that you can write off as if you were in the business, as if you were making money. So
nice.
But you can only do that for 3 years. And the reason why he was telling me this is he was
3
like,
years.
I gotta go get another network marketing company, because he was at his 3 years for that company.
Wow. So you can only write off when you start your business for 3 years, for the first 3 years.
And not make a profit.
Okay.
Make a profit. That means for 3 years, you could have been in research and development. So I'm not saying you to do anything like crazy, but you could be in research and development in your business. You could be, really learning and see and understand and getting all the necessary information to make a decision of whether you want to move forward.
Wow.
They said you could do that for 3 years, but after 3 years, it's considered a hobby because you're not making any income on that. No profit. So I can't keep giving you tax benefits and you're not making any money on this particular business.
Right. That's really important to know.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
So even if you're thinking about a business, you're in business. You can start taking those tax deductibles. You don't have to get an LLC. And it really doesn't make a difference if you're not selling anything yet, right? Because again, the LLC is based on taxes, but also based on liability, which now, once you have an LLC, that is an individual straw person. It's not you. That means if someone slips and falls, and sues your business, they're suing the business, not you personally. So
Not
they
you
can't go
personally.
after your personal assets. As a
Right.
sole proprietor, they can. As a partnership, they can.
Partnership, you can. Sole proprietor, right?
Right. So when you're thinking about the type of corporation you want, first of all, I tell everybody you need to find you a good lawyer that understands those laws so that you can be in the best position. Not everyone needs to. Now, LLC is the easiest, but it's not always the best one, depending on what your goals are. But even if the LLC is the right thing for you, you still want to understand the LLC so that you can maximize the benefits that you can get from it. A lot of people get an LLC and just say LLC, but don't maximize the taxes, don't maximize the benefits, and all the other things that go with you being an LLC.
Right, right. That is huge. Like that is huge. And like you said, to find a great lawyer for your business. So when when things come or if something goes wrong, like you can talk to your lawyer, like, how do I resolve this? Or like, what's about to happen now?
Right.
Like, if I made a mistake.
I'll say this, right? When you're going to business, you need a team. You need to develop a team around you. Doesn't mean you need to start paying them that day, but you need a team. So whether that's the tax people, whether it's a CPA and an accountant to help books, tax and accounting is two different people, even though a lot of accountants do taxes.
Right.
A lawyer, a good banker, right? And you need to develop relationships with these people, because here's what happens. We don't develop relationship with these people, especially in the bank situation. Right? I just take the bank situation. We don't develop relationships with them, but we understand that in most instances, a bank, you need 2 years of history before they're going to lend to you. They don't usually lend to startups.
Yep.
But if you get a good banker when you start, they understand your business by that time that 2 years comes, or when you're ready for money.
Right.
The reason why I say that is because they have to go and fight for your loan. Like they don't put the stuff in. They have to go talk to people and say, this is why this person needs a loan. And if they have developed a relationship with you, now they know how to go back and talk about you. Like, hey, yeah, Kimberly, she's been in here, with us for 2 years. Even if that's not your bank that you bank at, right? If it's a good business bank that you say, this is where I want to go, develop the relationship and be like, okay, I would be like, okay, Kimberly, she's been coming for the last 2 years. She's been taking my advice on how to really develop these things. I have sent her people who she's followed up on, because bankers know everybody.
Yes, they do.
People come there for their banking needs, so they can network and put you in touch with the right people to develop your business even more. They want you to get a good business, because that means more money coming in their business, whether you are banking with them or not at that time. But the important thing is, after that 2 years, like you're like, okay, yeah, I can go fight for you for a loan, because I can see what you've done in your business. We've been talking about it. Now I know if you don't do that 2 years of relationship, then when you walk in, which most of us do, and I've done because I didn't know, when you walk in, you're fresh off the street. They don't know how to fight for you.
Wow. Right? That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you need to develop with all these people, and also, like I said, the attorneys, the lawyers, and tax people that you walk and begin, as you look through your business, to plug those numbers in of how much it costs for people, right? You need to plan for when you're going to need a lawyer, and not let it come up by accident, and put it into so that you can have money when it's ready. Like, you don't want to be doing the accounting the rest of the time you're there, unless you like accounting. And so, but hey, how much do you charge, and what's your thing? Let me plug that in, so in the next year I can make sure I'm making enough profit to pay you and still pay myself. Right.
And to have that second eye, like your accountant, on your taxes, your finance, and it relieves a lot of stress off of you, because you're paying to get these services done.
If you're doing your own business taxes, you're missing money.
Definitely.
right? Because the people who are in taxes, like they enjoy taking that big book of taxes in the bathroom and reading it all day and all night to know
Right.
every benefit you can have, right? You
Yeah.
know that. Like you're in the business of marketing, right? You're not going to
Right.
that has nothing to do with you. Like that's why we
Right.
hire people who can do it.
Take
That's
care
why
of it.
I would hire you as my marketer because that's not my lane.
Mm.
Like I have a
Mhm.
business in the energy sector, in the energy efficiency. I'm,
Right.
I know marketing, but I don't want to do it because every hour I'm doing marketing, I'm taking away from what I can develop in the business.
Right. True. True. That is so true, Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon, this is some great information. I'm telling you, I pray that you're listening and, writing notes because I'm writing notes. I'm learning right now. And what you were talking about, like those relationships, and I love networking. I love connecting with people, even just like you taught us in class, just saving their emails. Shoot somebody an email every once in a while. Save those business cards you always told us in class. And you just brought up something because I just talked to my banker for my business and, telling him what type of loan I wanted in the future. And he was like, hey, I want you to connect with this, get on this website, put your business plan on here. Like he was real adamant of what he wanted me to do before I actually took out that loan. Because like you said, it looks good. Like you said, he's fighting for me. So he just showed me like great steps to do before we actually, all right, we're going to do this right now. So
And I would suggest with your bankers, I tell everybody, walk in there. The first thing you do, hey, I need you to get my credit score and what I got to do to get to the point, because that's the one thing that stops a lot of people. And if
yeah.
you're forethinking, right, if you're developing that relationship now, then they can help you get your credit score up so that you're ready once that comes. Again, we wait till we need it before we start thinking about it, and then it's too late,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But if you
So
start thinking
true.
about it now, and usually it's very simple things to get your credit back um, in a good shape, and you want to do it while you're not under duress, right? You don't want to do it when you need $50,000 and
Hmm.
your credit is jacked up. No, get it
Yeah.
together now so that because unfortunately or fortunately in business, you can get business credit, but it's initially in most cases going to start with your personal.
Right. Right. They do look at that. You're so right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Great information. I'm gonna go back and watch this again. Um, I think you had another website you wanted to share with us. Did you still want to share that?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. We're
Okay.
good. I mean, it just you can just walk through the website for the LLC. Again, there's not much to it. You can do it yourself, or you can again get someone that can help you walk through it. It's $125, free if you're a veteran. So it's just something to think about as you go through that process. And if you have, there's organizations that can help you walk through that. If you would like, just get a hold of Kimberly and we can make something happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want to first and foremost thank you, Mr. Gorin, once again for joining this lab interview, for giving us wisdom and knowledge on our business. I would highly encourage you to write this email down. Write down his email. He has those entrepreneurship classes, a lot of great resources, and it's hard to find great resources. So please use Mr. Gorin as a resource because you're going to learn so much, especially if you want to learn. So once again, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of our viewers who are watching with us tonight. Mr. Gordon, did you have any final words to close us out for tonight?
Yes, if you email me, make sure you put that Kimberly where that you saw this on Kimberly's page, right? Because I get a lot every day and I have to prioritize. So if you let me know that is, you've come through Kimberly, then I can prioritize you and push you to the top of the list as long as I don't tell nobody. But what I would say is honestly, if you're thinking about business or going into business or have started the process, you're in business. Begin to start really looking at how can you take the maximum benefit from taxes, because if you're working and again, this is why my friend was doing this, because he had a job, right? He was a school teacher. So imagine how much more money he got because he wasn't paying as many taxes as the person who was next to him. So
Wow.
if he could get $5,000 to $8,000 back extra by taking these tax deductions, he's already, you're already winning, right?
Right.
You're already
Right.
winning. And if it's something that you really like and you want to do it part-time, because let's say you don't want to stop being a teacher, you like doing that. So you do your business part-time, so you're making a profit. So now you're making money on something you like to do. You have your job and you're rolling, like there's no stress on you because the money was something you wanted to do, not something you had.
Wow.
So it's
Right.
something to think about.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to close, but
Yeah, I'm about to
I
say,
can learn all night. Look.
I mean, yeah, let's do this for 15 minutes. And it ain't never 15 minutes.
Never, never. But just thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed this live. And you'll be hearing more from Mr. Gordon in the future. Go back and watch it and share, and just learn and grow from your business, and just continue to educate yourself, because we can never stop learning. So once again, we thank you. I thank you so much, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and everybody have a good night.